full of problems, such as climate change, poverty, social injustice, access to healthcare, military conflicts, and personal hardships. Many obstacles, dilemmas, and big questions confront you, and you are expected to overcome, master, solve, and transform great issues, leading the way toward a more just future. You are involved in shaping the world and making it better, but you can't be the solution without the right skills. In today's digital age, developing solutions to our problems increasingly involves technical skills and knowledge. We're living in a world of unprecedented technology use and data generation, and without a basic understanding of this technology, as well as skills in data management and analysis, you won't be able to develop effective solutions. Learning the basics of computer programming is a fantastic way to better understand our digital world and how to interact with the vast amounts of data we produce. But what if you don't want to be a computer programmer or software engineer and your interests lie in human behavior or the natural world? The good news is that many colleges and universities now offer courses and degree programs in interdisciplinary computing, which is the intersection of computer programming and domains like psychology, biology, and beyond. These courses teach programming languages like Python, which is a beginner-friendly general-purpose language that is used across many different disciplines. These courses are designed for students who regard computer programming as a helpful tool that can be applied to their individual interests and broader research, managerial, political, and professional goals. If programming is totally new to you, you might understandably feel worried about the difficulty of these courses. These courses are designed with you in mind, as someone whose interests are not in computer science or information technology, but rather in fields like the social sciences, biological sciences, and the humanities. Your instructors understand that your aim isn't to become a software engineer, but rather that you want to apply programming skills to your area of interest to help you solve problems, develop policies, and design products and services that meet the needs of diverse markets, constituencies, and communities. Think of programming as a technology you need to use in the modern-day digital workplace. Can you imagine the kind of work you would do without access to a computer or the internet? Interdisciplinary computing allows you to apply computer programming and data analysis skills to your specific field and its agendas. On 6 California campuses, you can develop interdisciplinary computing capabilities via programs such as Bioinformatics minor at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo or San Jose State University, Data Science majors at University of California, Berkeley or University of California, Riverside, a minor in Computing Applications or PINC at San Francisco State University, and a minor in Applied Computing for Behavioral and Social Sciences at San Jose State University. Many of you are community college or lower division students already enrolled in a course that is part of the APEX program, which stands for Applied Programming Experiences. If so, congrats! Your educational pathway in interdisciplinary computing has already begun. The APEX program is designed to introduce students like you to computer programming by incorporating it into existing courses, such as introductory statistics and biology. Gaining programming skills via an interdisciplinary computing program has numerous benefits for your career. Graduates in your field with computer programming skills earn at least 14% more than graduates without these skills. They earn more money because they add value to developing solutions in the field. And as a result, they are more competitive in the job market, and they have more career opportunities in a variety of industries.
One of the most satisfying aspects of developing the PINK program has been the opportunity to bring two amazing departments together, computer science and biology, to provide a really important training opportunity for women and students of color in learning computer science skills. This has been hugely successful and has led to a similar program at the graduate level in biology, and it's also led to significant initiatives with companies in the local area.
You know, it's interesting, one of the things that we have been noticing and that we kind of project forward is going to happen even more is that pretty much everyone in every field is going to need a little bit of data science, an understanding of algorithms and computer science, because the more that machine learning models and AI are a part of people's everyday work, the more they're going to need to have a basic understanding of computer science in order to use them effectively and to really understand how they work. So in some ways, this interdisciplinary thing is everywhere, and we're going to see it more and more over the next few years.
In nowadays, I think the most important skill is have the natural curiosity and can learn very, very fast. Whether a different computational modeling concept or different programming language or a different software, because the field is changing so fast. So that fast ability to learn is the most critical thing.
What I love about teaching data science is that it brings students together with lots of different interests. Because data science is relevant to so many different fields, students come from all over campus, whether they were interested in biology or linguistics in the first place. And that means they bring their own interests, and I get to learn about the subjects that they care about when they start applying computing and statistics techniques to different areas that they find interesting. You know, sports or games or transportation or pollution. All kinds of things come up. And I just think that bringing together people with varied backgrounds to learn some common skills and techniques, but then apply them in different ways, makes the whole field very exciting.
It's been remarkable the opportunities that bringing computational skills into our lab has brought to our undergraduate and graduate students. They are able to immediately start running experiments. They don't have to wait to collect data and to wait for the right season or the right organism to grow. We can immediately jump onto computers and download data and practice and come up with toy models and be ready to address the questions when the data arrives. I feel like strongly that it's lowered barriers to entry in research. I have students that are able to conduct research from their homes, from abroad. During the pandemic, we were able to meet virtually and use our computational resources to keep projects going. It's been a profound experience on the ability to increase access to research for undergraduates.
So what I've noticed over the last couple of years is that when our students, and these are often students in biology or in biochemistry, when they add a minor in computing and they learn Python and other computational skills, it really helps them get paid internships. It helps them get jobs, often in the biotech industry. It even helps them get into med school, or it helps them to get into PhD programs at very competitive schools such as Stanford or UC Berkeley, and they're going to get paid to further their education.
So I get this question a lot from social science students. They say, I'm interested in human behavior. Why do I need to learn computer programming? And their short answer is it's related to your career. If you add some technical skills like computer programming, you can double the number of jobs available to you and increase your salary by several $1,000s.
I think all fields right now are experiencing this huge growth of data, and just the idea of data science, that was not a thing before a few years ago. But in biology, it's been a thing for a little bit longer, right? Because when we started sequencing genomes in the 2000s, biologists started to get used to this idea of really large data sets that you have to have computers to help you make sense of. And so always in my work, you know, I think we I like students to work with the living organisms and grow them and breed them. But then also we have these amazing computational tools where if we have a little bit of DNA from the organism, there's all kinds of questions that we can answer, but it requires a computer to help us process that data and really make sense of the answers that come out of those questions.
With respect to research, my background is in cognitive neuroscience. So on the cognitive psychology side of things, I use computer programming to do computerized experiments. So for example, the participant sits in front of a computer, they look at stimuli, they react and respond to stimuli, and I use programming to put the stimuli on the screen and to record their responses. I also use computer programming to then analyze the data. On the neuroscience side of things, I do brain imaging work, so MRI. And the data sets that we get are huge, and the only way to analyze them is with computer programming. And these days you can do this type of analysis for free in languages like Python or R.
So the PINK program has helped me with my future goals because I learned how to use programming to answer biological questions, how to come up with them and work with the team. And it really gave an advantage to me because not a lot of biology students know programming, and so they may not be able to analyze their own data, but now since we've learned it, we're all able to do that on our own.
I'm a social scientist, and Python has allowed me to look at new types of data that may not normally be what you'd imagine as, say, like quantitative data for computer science. So instead of looking at numbers, what I do is I look at essentially text. So in one of my courses, in one of my projects last semester, I looked at essentially Supreme Court opinions on the issue of free speech. And what I used with that is that I was able to quantify the specific types of ideology, namely more liberal or open versus conservative or more restrictive, to figure out how has the Supreme Court changed on this issue of free speech over time. So programming allows me to take these large blocks of text and quantify them into specific numbers, so I can say, yes, the Supreme Court has essentially doubled in how less restrictive it is on free speech over time. And with this type of programming, natural language processing, I'm going to be able to use this to study issues of evictions, looking at, say, legal records to figure out who's being evicted, why they're being evicted, and where are they being evicted.
The interdisciplinary nature of the PINK program was really awesome for me because it did help me to learn how to think about problems differently, and it also taught me how interdisciplinary the nature of computing is and how I can use it with different types of collaborators. So one of the things that I currently do is I work with an interdisciplinary group in plant biology and neuroscience, and so it's really amazing to see how I can use computing to bridge the gap between those two disciplines.
And I thought that as a psychology major, we don't do a lot of coding in our coursework, but I've noticed that the name of the class was Applied Computing for Behavioral and Social Sciences, and I thought this could be the perfect introduction for me to get into coding as a psychology major, right? The class itself was really fun. You would think that I have no experience in coding whatsoever, but it's an introduction class for a reason. The professor, Dr. Valerie Carr, made things really easy to digest, especially for someone like me. Like, coding is a different form of thinking, or a different way of thinking, but the way Dr. Carr teaches it makes it really easy to learn, and it honestly makes me think that anyone can really do it. You don't have to, you're not limited to a specific field like engineering or computer science to learn how to pick up these skills. In my experience, I've learned that a lot of people actually pick it up themselves, and this class is a great introduction for it as well, for anyone who's just kind of curious about what it's like to know how to code.
In our PINK program, I teach computer science courses using very relevant materials for our PINK students, biology or biochemistry students. So we use DNA sequences or phylogenetic tree or antibiotic resistance, or also latest courses like machine learning for medical imaging. We are teaching deep learning segmentation for brain tumor images. These are some material I never used before or for my other research, but this really shifted my focus of research, and I'm very excited to work on this new area.
In our earlier days, the focus is more analyzing the observed data from clinical trials. In recent several years, it has been more and more, we still do analysis of clinical trial data, but it's more and more focused on using the computational model we have developed, making predictions and predict doing virtual trials, meaning trials of untested scenarios such as new dose level or new different regimen, rather than doing any real clinical testing. And these model-based virtual trials really transform how we do research in drug development.
Find a path forward in your career by enrolling in interdisciplinary computing programs designed for students like you at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, San Jose State University, San Francisco State University, UC Berkeley, or UC Riverside. If you're just beginning your college career, you can get started with Apex courses at your local community college. Add programming to your repertoire of skills. Let programming open up your career possibilities. Let programming change your life so that you have greater power to change the world and yourself. To find out more, go to sjsu.edu/apex.